Welcome to Bearish. We're not financial professionals, and this is not financial investment advice. Enjoy the episode.
So we're not feeling too hot, boys.
Hey.
We're not what?
We're not feeling too good.
About what?
This stonk market.
Oh. No.
Very Debbie Downer today.
I hate it.
What are you
Very
in,
Debbie
Logan?
Downer the last few weeks.
What are you in?
Sundial. And some friend of mine said buy Ethereum.
Oh my god.
So we're 800 bucks balls deep in it.
And so I'm actually very, very big down.
You
How far did it go down?
Jared, you low-key boned me because you said, yeah, I bought 50. And I was like, okay, I'll buy 50. But you meant $50,
Here.
and I bought 50 shares.
Dude, I sold when I was like $7 down. I was like, I don't want to be in this shit.
Oh my
You wanna hear
god.
something? This is how the conversation went. Dylan on message was like, "Oh, I'm liking it's looking good. It's hitting all the marks that we wanted it to hit." And I go to Max and I was like, I don't know if I believe in that. And then I bought it because everyone was like, I bought this, I bought that, I bought that. And I was like, I got myself.
The worst thing you can do is listen to your friend on investing.
I'm just staying in it.
Yeah.
I don't really care now. Like
What's it at? What price is it? I haven't checked.
It's like
12.
13, 14.
Yeah, it's low.
Dollars?
Max, what are you
it's
down in it?
I bought in at 17.58. I'm
Thing
down
is,
50 shares.
200.
Same. I bought the exact same.
Yeah.
You guys
But
put
the thing is-
$800 into that.
I thought you said
No.
50
I
shares.
I put like
Put $50.
That's where we went wrong.
I put like 150 maybe.
Fuck.
I mean,
Less.
who knows? It could go knucking futz. You don't
Well,
know. You-
now is
I
the
mean,
point.
it will when all the other like Bitcoin shit and cryptocurrency goes crazy.
Literally, like, it will.
Like in the future.
But
Yeah. Will. Yeah.
like,
Sure.
$50. Yeah, it will. Yeah.
You
guys know Mike?
Please.
Do you guys know
Dylan
Mike
said
from
he's
Logan
not
Paul?
selling under 30.
Yeah.
What?
Do you guys know Mike from Impulsive?
Yes.
Yes, Mike Malak. What a guy.
Lot
Great
of
guy.
words, right?
Know him personally. Text him every day.
He said he only trades crypto.
Well, that's a
He
big
only,
Dude, they
only
have-
trades
they
crypto
have-
and he's on Coinbase.
They have so
A lot of
much.
people
They have
do.
so much money.
literally, and it swings like 10% every day. It's crazy.
Max's $200 loss would be a fucking lunch out for him. Like that's
Yeah.
nothing.
No, I wouldn't.
Just
It wouldn't be bad.
Should we all get on Coinbase as well? They're about to go public, so we can get trading on crypto.
It's like a referral
speaking
thing. You
of
get like
crypto,
you get like $10 or I don't know. You get some kind of something if you refer. You get some kind of Bitcoin. I don't know how much money. They give it to you for referring somebody, which isn't a bad idea.
Okay. Not a bad idea.
$1 million.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a tough one. These darn bonds. That's what it is, man. Owning us.
Go ahead, Jay.
those bond yields.
Start it
bro.
off.
Those bond
What's up
yields.
with these bond
Yeah,
yields, man?
what's the bondage happening?
They weren't supposed to go up like this fast, and it's spooking people.
Very scary.
Spooking people big time.
Yeah, clearly. I mean,
The market today. What's today? Today's 25th. 25th. February 25th. The market was down 600 points, and it started off strong.
the Dow's had a couple green days this week, but the Nasdaq hasn't seen a single green day.
You want to know why the Nasdaq is the one that's getting hit hard?
That's the only thing I'm
Tell
in.
me.
With the bond yield so low, you raise, like we said last episode, you raise the evaluations of these companies, and the ones that have been raised the most are the tech stocks. Remember I went over like Square, it's at $300. Well, now it's down to like 220. It's
That's
been
all.
hit. But like
That's
these tech stocks they're so not overvalued, but they're very expensive compared to what they probably should be because the bond yields are so low.
Right.
Now that they're coming back up, people are starting to get out of growth and more into value. That's why you see the Dow had a couple green
Yeah.
days, but the Nasdaq's getting rocketed, not in a good way.
Yeah, it's not
Bad way.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, Tesla is about to be at 650 again. It's at 680 right now, which is crazy because that thing hasn't looked back since. If I'm looking
Speaking
at
of
it,
Tesla, dude,
November-ish.
Tesla, I like them, but like the news the articles that I've been reading it's just not been good. It's not been good. GM partnered with a company over in China for electric cars. This company's selling electric cars for $4,500, and they've doubled Tesla's sales in 1 month in China.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Tesla's goal was ever to push out as many cars as possible. I think it was like just like such a quality car.
And
yeah, think about it like Apple versus Windows. Like Apple, they may not produce as much as like the Windows computers and like HP and Dell.
Well, how do you make money then?
But you sell at a higher price and you have a really high quality product, and then you
but
get people
yeah,
to
but
buy
they
that
took
high
off. They
quality
took
product.
off one of their cars off their website because demand wasn't being met.
Okay, so
You just
that
told me
doesn't doesn't answer the overall question of as to why they would buy Tesla versus the other one.
In Europe, they're being outpaced by Volkswagen and Hyundai and one other company. I'm not saying Tesla's shit. I'm just saying I don't think their demand for cars it's not being met.
Well,
as much.
Yeah,
as
but
thought, I think.
there's also not as many like rich people. Do you know what I mean? Like, just look at the numbers. Who can afford a fucking $70,000 Tesla?
They have
compared to
like
a $4,500.
They have like $30,000 cars.
That's true. But then, like, even that $3,500 compared to like a $4,500.
Yeah, I know that
Or
45 that 4,500 was just like a
Yeah.
This
shits
may be
and
going
giggles.
off on a limb, but at the same time, like the charging stations, like in America, it's a much larger country compared to most of the European countries. So like, there's more charging stations there per like the distance from one to another, whereas America
Per square mile.
Yeah, there's not as many. I don't know if that has anything to
True.
do with it, but yeah.
Yeah, but
No, that does.
When
Having
every
a
other
good charging network is a huge
Yeah,
huge
I mean,
port.
well, no, that's a
point
big
of
big
sale.
issue. That's a big issue with
Yeah,
Tesla is
exactly.
they don't have dealerships. You know, GM has Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Those are everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to order a Tesla online, and then they ship it to
Yeah.
you. And then I have a charging station down the street at a gas station. That's the only one I've ever seen. Only one I've ever seen.
To be honest.
Exactly.
So, actually,
Up in Atlanta, yeah, there's actually.
are there
a decent
Tesla
amount.
specific ones or just electric ones?
Tesla specific.
Oh, I've never seen a Tesla specific.
Oh,
At the
yeah.
gas
Because at
station.
Kroger, there's a
Yeah.
couple electric charging stations, but
Yeah. I didn't know there was any specific ones.
Yeah.
Maybe they have Tesla specific ones at those chargers. I don't know.
I've never seen it. But it's kind
But
of nice.
Jared, your
Who knows?
specific your original question was like concerning their success or potential success, or comparing them to the other companies. You're not sure if they're still the big deal anymore because the other companies
Well, right now
are.
they are with EVs because I'm pretty sure like 1 in every 4 EVs sold is a Tesla. But I'm saying with more competition coming in, GM, Ford, XPEV, NIO, all of these other companies, you know, I don't know. That's another company that's super high right now. And I that's why it might be getting hit hard. Another thing, this is a good transition. Have you noticed that all of the companies that have heavily invested in Bitcoin have shit the bed this week?
Yes.
I do
Square,
believe that's also
PayPal,
because
Tesla.
what Bitcoin went from 58, 59 to like 45 in like the
Yeah,
span
that's
of,
my
like,
point.
2 days.
That's
yeah,
my
that's
point,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. I feel like a lot of these companies are now like reflected, or whatever Bitcoin does, it reflects into the company because there's so much of that company's money in this that is now shitting
Yeah.
the bed. So it's like
That's exactly what a
You know what I'm
headline I
saying?
read said. That's
Yeah.
exactly what the headline said. It said like Tesla's value is intrinsically
they're correlated.
derived from Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
somewhat
Super
correlated
strange.
because there's so much of that company's money involved in this. And if you're almost basically looking into the company and seeing the financials because you're looking at what they're investing in and you know how much they put in, so you can basically see how much they've lost now. And they haven't
And they
recovered
put
from
in
the highs.
1.5 billion, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah, and they haven't. It hasn't
That's
recovered
a
from those
lot
highs.
of money.
Yeah, and it's these Square just did it. Tesla did it.
PayPal.
Like-
That's why they go up. Well, yeah, they go up with Bitcoin and down with Bitcoin. And I don't know if I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I don't know if I'd want to invest into a company that follows Bitcoin's volatility. Like just because Bitcoin goes down I don't want my stock to go down because they've invested in Bitcoin. But then again, if Bitcoin goes up, it could do the opposite, and then I could,
Here's my thoughts on that whole thing. Like, yeah, they're with how much a lot of these companies are buying, they are now, like, their value is,
Tied.
slightly derived, tied with Bitcoin's value. But I think that when they buy this much, they have to know something that we don't, like, about
It's a lot of
Bitcoin.
hype.
I do agree with that, man.
Yeah.
I think they know something that, like, we don't know, and that it will in the future. It could be double.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just turned 1.5 billion, a massive number, into 3 billion.
It's almost like that GameStop.
Because they knew.
Dude, I forgot his name. Keith, whatever.
Roaring Kitty?
Yeah, the kitty guy. Like, last week he said... He's not a cat, guys. Last week he said that he would buy GameStop at the price that it was at. It was at like 40, 45. And he told the world that. And then the following day, doubled down on his already ridiculous position and bought the exact amount of shares. He has like 100, I don't know, he has a ton. And then you see it this week. They fired their, like, I don't want to say CEO, but they fired a big head guy and brought in a new guy who's more digitally focused, where the other guy wasn't. And this was after this guy doubled down. And it shot up like 100% in after hours yesterday.
I don't think he knew that was going to happen. I think he almost had to say, I would buy it at this price because he was being tried.
But he didn't have to double down like he did. He said, I'd buy it this price, but he didn't have to double down.
But I don't think no one knows what's going to happen in a company unless it's reported or if it's leaked. I don't think he has any ties into GameStop.
You're not throwing around that kind of money unless you have... Not like he knows.
How much money was it? Like when you say he doubled down.
He has millions of dollars. I don't know about share amounts. I want to say like 100K, but I'm not positive on that. He doubled down an already really big position. I think it was 50K to 100K. I want to say.
But he already took like majority of the profits, right?
He hasn't sold. He's held through this whole thing.
I saw that he held, but it's like he didn't sell anything at all.
He held. To my knowledge, he held everything through since December.
Yeah.
So
he must have known they were gonna like.
That's what I'm saying. Like you might.
No. I think he might have had a feeling that Reddit was gonna do it again, but there's no way he knew the CFO of GameStop was gonna be fired. Like no one knows that except GameStop's. Company.
Yeah. I meant, how did he know not to sell it at 400? Like, why would you not?
Because the diamond hands. He was probably playing along with the meme, and then once he got tried, in front of fucking Congress, he was like, "Hey, I buy it right now too."
And at the same time, he already made millions.
He got so lucky, bro.
He already made millions on top of it, so it's like, if I lose a few millions, like, I mean, to us, it's like, what the hell? But to him, it's like, this came from nothing. And also, they halted the trading on Robinhood again a couple times today.
They did
because it was
it was because of the volatility.
They said it wasn't because they said it wasn't even because of Robinhood. They said it was something else.
That always happens. Like, if a stock moves too fast, they'll halt it. But that's what they should have. That's what they should have done last time. Instead of saying you can't buy it, you can only sell it. They should have just halted it, which would have been fine.
Which is fair, right? Which is what makes it fair is you halt everything.
Yeah, and that's actually sketchy because it would have. If they're saying it's liquidity issues, well, he's not really saying that, but he's indirectly saying it without saying liquidity. It would have helped them with their liquidity issues because nothing would have went through. Like they wouldn't have had to post any kind of margins.
Yeah. So this week, there was a lot of GameStop. Well, actually, not a lot of GameStop. It really just happened yesterday and today. But there was a lot of NFT, non-fungible tokens. My friends Michael and Logan did research half an hour before this episode, so let's hear what you guys have to say.
Last Google search is, what does fungible mean? I didn't know what the fuck fungible meant.
Do you know what it means now, Max?
Yeah, it's like they can't be like replaced by something else.
Well, that's non-fungible.
Yeah.
Fungible,
fungible,
fungible is like, if I went to a casino and I made $1,000, they'd give me $1,000 in poker chips, and I went to go cash out, I'd give them $1,000 of my poker chips in return for $1,000 of money.
Right. I knew what NFTs like. I knew what the concept was, but I didn't know what fungible actually meant.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'd heard you guys talk about them before, but the idea was really confusing, and I didn't get why. but now it's starting to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
But still, certain things don't. Like just random pictures.
Yeah.
And people are interested in
Just
them.
tokens, bro. It's like
I thought the same way. Well, a token means it's a certificate on the blockchain.
Yeah.
It's not an actual token. It's a digital certificate that is stored and secured on the blockchain. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, let's go over what it actually is. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll pull it up. I have a lot of notes. So like we already said, it's a non-fungible token, meaning it cannot be exchanged for something. No two NFTs are the same, and they're all unique in their own way based on their coding.
Okay.
I'm sure Michael and Logan, you guys can kind of understand that the way they're coded makes them unique. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's similar to like Bitcoin. That's how you distinguish each one. Do you know what I mean? They can't be copied. No more can be made because they're all this unique.
Mm-hmm.
What I
Kind of-
didn't
it's kinda
understand
hard to
is it's
explain.
the non-fungible part says like, or like you just said, like they can't. There's no two that are the same.
Right.
I was looking at them the other day, and it's like, some guy posted a story about it, and it was like 1,000 blah 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 of these have been mined. So
Mined.
that's what it said on the thing, and I was like,
I don't think NFTs are mined.
it was a picture
Yeah.
thing. I read it. I don't know, and I was like,
Maybe they fucking are.
I
don't know.
didn't know. I guess it is like a. I guess the way you can look at it is each one of them. If you want to relate it to Bitcoin, each one of these pictures is a Bitcoin. Like,
Well, I don't get the mining. I get what you're trying to say, but I don't get the mining idea because if they're being mined, who put them there? Like someone would have had
same thing
to
with crypto.
have
too.
initially sold them.
It seems like there's a finite amount. Of, like I saw the
It
NFTs
is.
that I
There is.
saw.
There is.
Where
There
there's
is.
playing
A finite
cards.
amount.
There's like scenes. There's little pictures. Like little couple second like almost GIF looking things. And it seems like there's a finite amount of them out there, but they have to be mined almost like a Bitcoin does.
I don't know.
Is what I understand.
Either
from that.
mined or created via coding.
Yeah. Well, is
Yeah.
that mining?
No, when you mine a Bitcoin, you solve the coding. You solve the algorithm.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how an NFT works. I don't know though. I don't want to say you're wrong. Like you could be right. I have no clue.
Well, either way, there's
Either way, yeah, they're unique in their own way because of the way they're coded. So and it's all on the blockchain, relative or similar to all the crypto like Bitcoin, and that's how. And I was confused as to why they were so big, like you said, Logan. Like why are NFTs like the next big thing when you can look up
Right.
a highlight, or for example, a LeBron James highlight of him dunking last year, dunking over someone, sold for $208,000. I can go on YouTube and look up that highlight, screen record it, and say I have it, but that's not how it works because when you have a NFT, it's your ownership is like stored in the blockchain, so you literally own that. And like Max said, only a finite amount are made for certain ones. So for example, the LeBron one, I think only the LeBron one, 49 of them were created. So there's only 49 of those created. So that's a big like supply and demand type thing. And sold for
Here's what I don't get is
208,000.
why don't we make 49 of our own LeBron James dunking? Like what?
I don't know.
Why were those valued
Those
so
sold-
much? Did
those
LeBron
sold-
James himself make them? Or-
No. Those sold on something called NBA Top Shots, and that's like huge now. And I'm pretty sure that's all for the NFTs.
There's a bunch of
I'm
different
not-
websites for them.
But the problem is, I don't think LeBron actually got that money. I don't think he got a cut of that. I think the NBA itself got a cut of that. If he didn't get a cut, that would kind of suck. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't get one, but I'm not entirely sure.
So even like
I think he would get some kind of.
He has to, I
royalties.
feel like.
say it's not even like a playing card or something like that. Like the ones that I've seen were like scenes of like one was like grass like flowing in
Yeah,
the
it's a
wind.
lot of digital art.
Yeah, and it's like
Mhm.
so you're telling me the guy who created that then receives
Yeah.
all of the money?
Yeah, there's someone called Nebel, and he creates a lot of this digital art. And I'm pretty sure one of his digital art pieces just sold for like $1 million.
It's
Yeah.
nuts because is there a special software that they make it on, or are they going to damn Windows art and just drawing some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
I don't know.
Like what separates me or you guys from doing it compared to Nebel? You know, and
That I
selling for
don't
$1 million.
know. I wish I knew that, but
That's what's
So-
confusing about all these.
Think of it. Think
Go
of
for it, man.
NFTs like a digital stamp of approval, or a digital stamp or certificate
ownership.
saying that
Yeah.
that you own this thing.
Mhm.
And it could be any sort of digital asset. It could be artwork. It could be music. It could be a video. Anything to prove that it belongs to you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's step number one. Number two is you can buy these tokens to prove your ownership over something on online marketplaces. They're not mined like a cryptocurrency.
Right.
You don't mine them with graphics cards and such. You go to an online marketplace and you buy a token, and then you can, I think it looks like you can customize it for your own purposes. So to say you need a token for yourself to prove that you own a certain digital asset. And then what you do is you take that token, and all this stuff is based off of what's called cryptography, which is a branch of computer science dealing with
Sounds like
creating
imagery
secret
and
messages.
art and stuff.
Well, cryptography is concerned with sharing secret messages and encryption and so on and so forth. Sorry, I'm getting a call. And so what I'm thinking is, from a computer science perspective, what you do is you take the piece of art and you probably take this token, and what you do is called a sign. So what you do is you sign the piece of art with that token, and when you do that, it proves that you own that piece of art, or you own that digital asset. A very similar thing happens whenever you visit a website. You know that little padlock that shows up on your browser whenever you
It's
visit
secured.
a website?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It means it's secured because there is a certificate that the person, the company, let's say Google, they have a certificate saying, hey, this website is authorized, it belongs to us, and it's secure and it's safe to visit.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And in addition to that, they support secure encryption whenever you visit the website. Not exactly the same, but the idea of proving that someone is who they say they are and that this belongs to them. The purpose of the website thing is to prove that this is who they say they are, and that it is a secure channel. Whereas the tokens, they're used to prove that, hey, this person for sure, without a doubt, owns this piece of artwork or owns this digital asset, and that it belongs to them.
And that's where
So-
it comes into the
and
blockchain, right? That's where it correlates with that.
Yeah,
It
and so it
records
uses the
the
same
ownership,
blockchain
yeah.
technology. Exactly. So instead of just recording the transactions of, let's say, a cryptocurrency, which is also what blockchain is used for, this records the ownership of the actual asset as it travels to different parts, to different people from person to person.
And along
So-
with that, go ahead, Logan.
Go ahead. A few things I just read on is, one, it became huge in like the gaming industry. There's actually like NFT games where you collect the items as you go through the game, and those grow in importance because you're like the sole owner of that item.
That's the whole thing about it.
Because like we
yeah.
were saying, it's tagged to it. And also there's ways to work in royalties into the coding, I believe it said. So I told you guys, I think off camera, the guy who's famous for playing in Star Trek, let me find his name, William Shatner, best known as Captain Kirk from Star Trek.
What a guy.
He, in 2020, sold 90,000 digital cards of himself, and he worked in royalties to that. So he sold them for $1 each, and now every single time it's sold from a user to another user, he makes a specific royalty
Oh.
off that card.
I didn't know that.
So it is just passive income
And Logan
for
Paul
as
did
long
that,
as
right?
these things are a big deal.
Logan, I'm
think
happy.
Logan Paul
I'm happy
did it,
you
yeah.
just brought that up, Max. Logan Paul. So he partnered with something called Bondly, and Bondly pretty much, I don't know what they did, but I think they were just the way for him to get these out. Like sell them.
Right.
And
Or create them.
So maybe fuck. I wish I don't know, but he dropped $3,000 of his own NFTs, and it's him like holding like Pokemon cards, and he sold, and there were 3,000 of them, 2,586 of them sold, and he made a total of $5 million in like 2 days.
So here's another thing I don't get. Is it like stocks? Do their value
Yes,
go up? Is
that's-
that
Well,
That's what they
listen
buy.
to this. That's
Okay.
what's cool. But first of all, hold on. I think most NFTs are bought with Ethereum. I don't know. His was.
Yes, yeah.
Logan Paul's NFT was bought with Ethereum. One Ethereum for each one, and at that time Ethereum was like $1,998. Since then it's dropped, and that's where it gets a little weird. But what was your question, Logan?
They are.
How do
like
they
stocks.
change?
It's
Yeah, like, why do
borderline like
people get into 'em?
investments. It's
That's
Right.
that's
like, why
where
do people want a digital
that's-
thing of Logan Paul
Exactly.
holding Pokemon
that's
cards?
where that's where the investing into an influencer comes into place.
right.
If Logan
Okay.
Paul beats Floyd Mayweather in this boxing match, you better bet that NFT is
Oh.
skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't even
So
think
it's
about that.
almost tied. So a share of stock is tied to the business, right? If GM comes out with the next best EV and it beats out Tesla, beats out all of these other things, their stock is gonna go up because people are gonna buy it, right? If
Yeah.
Logan Paul does something super cool, he beats Floyd Mayweather, for example, his NFT value is gonna skyrocket. So you're pretty much, it's like an investment into the influencer
Right.
if an influencer is selling one. Yeah.
That's why these are even appealing to people, because people do hours upon hours of research into random art or scenes or player cards. One, because there's only a finite amount of them, and then their value kind of moves along. You could relate it to like a stock, and so people see these things as investments and look to trade them off in the future when their value increases or whatever it does. But I guess it seems like a lot of people do their research on whatever one they buy. I don't know what specifics you're looking at, but that is why they'll buy them in the first place, to then send them off to somewhere else, hopefully for profit.
That just Max. Hold on, listen to this. Listen. Lindsay Lohan sold an image of her face, an NFT image of her face, for $17,000, and the dude who bought it immediately flipped it for $58,000. Just an image of Lindsay
See, but why?
Lohan's face.
Like, what made the price of that go up? I don't get it.
I don't
What
know.
controls it?
I
Like,
don't
you
know.
get it
That-
in
that-
regular
in
stock
that
markets,
case-
it makes sense.
In that case, it's demand. It's a lot of hype
But
too.
who demanded it? Like, why did it go up from
Think about these
17
little
to
niche
58?
things. People like what they like. Somebody want to be
Well-
like, yeah, I own Lindsay Lohan's face, so
Hold on,
I'm going to
yeah.
pay $50,000 for it.
That as well,
It's just
but
weird shit.
also, why do you trade a stock? Because you think it's going to go up in value.
Right.
You buy
So
the Lindsay
I'm saying-
Lohan image because you think it's going to be worth more in the future, which it obviously
But-
was straight after.
So if there's only one of them, this is my point. So what determines the stock price a lot of times is news, and the reason news affects it is because it affects the number of people buying and selling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So aka like supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's only one of them and he bought it for 17 grand
Mm-hmm.
and then sold it for 58, does he set the bid on that? Like,
don't know.
who valued it at 58?
He
I-
might
There's
have.
only one of them.
I could see
You
it
might-
as
Right,
like
that's my point.
you post something on like eBay and you do it as like an auction, and then
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
like a
can see
lot
that
of people
too.
want it. You know what I'm saying? So then it goes up
Right.
to
That
to
makes
20
sense.
grand, and then somebody's like, oh, "I'll do 25 for it," and then they get up
Mm-hmm.
to 50, and people are like,
Okay.
"Okay, I'm not doing more than 50," and then that's what it seems
Right.
like it is.
That probably is how it works. And if it's not, then sorry, but that seems like it makes sense.
It seems like the only logical answer. It's literally
Yeah.
like, okay, I want it.
With
Well, how
Logan
much
Paul
do they
though,
give me?
he put it at a set because he's like the first guy to do this, influencer
Bro,
at least.
he is so smart.
So smart. He
He's
set
literally
the
so switched
set
on
the-
to any way
yeah.
to make money.
he set the price as 1 Ethereum, and that was it.
Well, that kind of leads us into our next thing of beyond NFTs is if there was a way to invest in influencers, which has been talked about before. And I would not be surprised if NFTs are a thing now and you're buying an image of grass blowing in the wind, you're damn right you can buy a stock of Logan Paul or a stock of Elon Musk. I don't even know
Well, I
if you
think
call it
that's-
stock, but
I
you
think
know
that's
what
what the NFT is, Max. I think that's the whole. I mean, it could be, but how would you invest in an influencer? What do you think? How would you
I
think?
mean? Maybe,
you would
like
do
you
it?
said, maybe it's Logan
Well,
Paul's face
exactly.
holding Pokemon cards
Exactly.
is the stock, you know? is
Yeah.
is the investor, and that's how, or the influencer, and that's how you invest in them.
And you think he's gonna beat Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah.
So you say I'm gonna
Gambling at
invest
this
in
point.
this guy. It literally
Yeah.
is. I mean, that's what stocks is.
That's actually
in a way.
really interesting. You can't
Yeah.
exactly, because who says, like, say Mr. Beast comes out and is like, I have,
Yeah.
like, you can't exactly say there's 50 shares of Mr. Beast floating around, you know?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast could
Yeah.
say, I have 50 images of me holding.
Right, Logan Paul said I have 3,000 and only 2,500 were sold, and that's
Right.
it. That's it. 2,500 are out there. And I'm sure those are being traded as well right now. I'm sure they're being resold, and maybe they're being held. But I'm sure some of
I'm sure is he holding the last 500?
no Bondly burned them. They got rid of them because they weren't bought, so they just completely deleted them.
It would have been smart if they just held him, waited for the fight.
Not sure why they did
I
that,
wonder
but I
if-
think that played in with the demand.
If eventually they're going to
Oh.
move into a way to, like, kind of centralize it so it's all in one place. Because it seems like a lot of NFTs or whatever the fuck, did I say it right?
NFT, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like they're all, like, they're bought in different places and different websites. It seems like
Yeah.
if there was to be some kind of influencer investing, it would have to
Yeah.
be centralized in one place, or like a few brokerages like stocks are, to where it's on a specific market, and then you can trade them freely throughout.
Well, if you want to sell your assets, you got to have a market to go to, right? If you want to sell these kinds of things, so you can't just go peer to peer. So that makes sense for
Right.
sure. I think they have that already. They have a few, but I don't think it's completely centralized.
I'm talking more not for NFTs, but more like investing into actual influencers. If that were to actually be a thing, or if these NFTs are a way of investing in an influencer, like an early.
Yeah, I think there's
version
a
of it.
couple. I think there's a couple places.
I wanted
It's
to
not centralized.
I wanted to
I don't
make a
think.
clear distinction that I think is important. Would you be investing in the actual influencer or the content that they produce, right?
that the
Because
same
it
thing,
sounds
kinda?
like sort of, because the NFT, it sounds like based on what we looked at it for the NFTs, you use those to sign it's not even, you don't use it to sign. Those are the tokens, like whatever the asset is, that's the token. It sounds like that. So would it be that perhaps the next video that Logan puts out or any other influencer puts out becomes an NFT in the future, and then people buy it? I don't know if that's the right way of I don't know if that's the way of looking at it, because then people don't watch it
I
on
can
YouTube,
see that being
but-
tough, because then it's not even like unique anymore, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of them, so there's more supply. So it would almost like bring down the value in a certain way. 'Cause
That's
they
more
make
like a
content every day.
paid subscription. Yeah, that's more like a paid subscription type idea when he's releasing it for anyone to see and you just have to pay to watch it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm just trying to think through the different scenarios in which like an influencer would take advantage of these NFTs, and it sounds like it's more of like a merch type thing, because it sounds like those cards are like pieces
Right,
of
that's
merch,
exactly what it
and
sounds
but they're limited edition. So the comparison I wanted to make was like limited edition sneakers. So when they put out limited edition sneakers, they only make like one version, right? And then as time goes on, they might get more expensive and they're unique. Now, of course, in the
Right.
world of sneakers, you can forge those things. You can make extra pairs, and there's problems like that where factories like make extra pairs and then people peddle them, or they get those extra pairs that had never were stamped or never had a serial number on them. So this is sort of the same idea where you have a limited edition product, but you know exactly how many you made, and you have using cryptography, you've ensured that this is the only asset that exists, or this is the specific asset and it exists and it belongs to this person for sure.
Right. That is that's actually a pretty interesting way of putting it, like merch, but it
Yeah.
seems like this is like
It's not tangible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like non-tangible merch. Like you'll never actually touch it. You'll never actually physically hold it. Whereas the merch right now, it's like the next level, like the future merch is what you could.
You know what Gary V?
Kinda
Gary
seems
V
that.
compared it to like a blue check mark on social media.
Yeah.
How much would you pay? How much is that worth? And like, unfortunately or fortunately, it's worth a lot to some
Yeah.
people, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not tangible. Like, it's just there.
Mhm.
But it's not exactly like that, because it's not. I mean, it's not like coded or anything.
Or really
But
bought
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah.
So then
more
that's
kind of
when you start
niche.
talking about rights, right? So like for example, Dave Chappelle had this thing recently where he
love
sold
him.
the rights to
The
his
GOAT.
show. Yeah, he sold the rights to his show to the big companies. I think Comedy Central was the main one, and
Netflix
he
as well,
sold the
right?
rights to his. Sorry.
Netflix as well, or no?
Yeah, the show was being played on multiple platforms, but the fact that I think Comedy Central owned the rights to his show, and so they
gotcha.
owned
Yeah,
his
yeah.
content, right? Because that's when he signed the contract. So the idea here would be that if Dave wanted to make sure that any future content belonged to him and it was owned by him, he could turn those shows or those assets into NFTs. And then he would be guaranteed ownership over that stuff, and then over time they might increase in value.
Interesting.
That's just one other way of looking at it. So the reason I bring that up is because how do we think through how a person gets monetized or how a person becomes valuable? And really, it's the rights, at least in terms of music and in terms of movies. It's at least in terms of, I think music is a better example. It's the right to their music. So for example, like you get artists who die and yet their music still gets put out because the label owns the rights to their music. So do you just continue this with NFTs, or do you go a step further and say, no, the rights to this actual person's personality and
shit.
image and their existence, do you sell that off as an
Yeah.
NFT? Like where's
No.
the how
I
do
think
you do that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's like
How do
you're
you
literally buying and selling
Yeah.
somebody? Like
That's
Then
why.
that gets
That's why I
problematic.
don't think. That's why I don't think
That could be.
there's ever gonna. That's why I don't think there's ever gonna be like a Logan Paul stock, because like you're investing in him and technically you own part of him. So that's a little weird, and that's why the NFT thing is
yeah.
you own something he created, but you don't own him.
Which
You own
has
something
value
He, exactly.
Yeah, but
because of
when
him.
his
I-
value is tied to that in a
we've-
way. Yeah.
Right.
When we've talked about investing in influencers, I never thought about it as like a stock. You buy a share and you
own
have
the
equity in the
business.
company. Yeah, you own part of the business. I thought of it as more of just like I not owning them, but you're just yeah. I mean, I guess in a way, because then could they monetize it? Could they receive money from this? Like that leads
Think
into
about it.
another question.
think about it like this?
Well, they do. They're the initial, like, when they create these NFTs, like, he made, like, an IPO. In
Right,
a way.
yes,
Like,
there
he
you
sold them
go.
initially for,
Right.
for one Ethereum. Do you know what I mean?
Here's
Yo.
here's one way to think about it. Imagine that all of his videos, he put them into a derivative, and then the value of his
Right.
company
That's
was
exactly what
derived from the success of his videos.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're purchasing this derivative, which the value of this is derived from the success
Which
of the
would be that
videos,
N-
and that's what
NFT.
you're investing in. Yeah, and that's what you would be investing in.
I mean, people, in a way, it's super.
This
I
is
mean, it maybe
fucking
stretch of
with
the
my head.
imagination.
It's kind of interesting.
But people in a way already invest in teams and people and players in sports specifically, because if you think a team's gonna win, you invest in the team by gambling in them. Do you know what I mean?
This
If you
actually
think this
really does
person's gonna
sound
do
exactly
good.
like gambling. Because if they make a bad piece of
You-
content, nobody knows if they make a bad piece.
Yeah.
Of like Nelk, they got shit
Exactly.
on like a few months back because they made very bad content, and everyone was like, "Oh, you guys are sellouts. You guys are like not good anymore." It's
Yeah.
like, it's
Exactly.
you can't predict. I feel like a stock you can more so predict where it's going.
'Cause they-
Not right now.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other things.
But they do
going on.
report like their financials. You're not going to get the
Exactly,
Nelk boys
exactly.
reporting how much money.
Whereas
they
these,
make.
they're not reporting their financials. They're not doing any of
Right.
that kind of stuff. It seems these NFTs sound exactly like gambling in a way, because, like I said with Nelk, you didn't know they were going to make that bad content, and then their NFT would have plummeted because they made bad content.
Yeah.
Or
But in a way, it is like a stock because, like, just Logan Paul again, for example, we know he's got a fight with Mayweather.
Mhm.
Whether he wins or loses,
It's
the
gonna go well.
publicity he's going to get from this is going to be, astronomical. So many people are going to watch it. And so probably the value of those images that he sold is going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it is like a company. You know a company's about to release earnings. You know a company's about to
That is
do
true, 'cause-
a presentation on a new product.
He started boxing, so obviously he's going to get big time boxing fights. So when you see that he does boxing, or he says that he starts doing it, his NFT rises a little bit, and then he fights this guy and it rises a little bit more, and then he says I'm fighting Mayweather, and then it shoots up. You know what I'm saying? Like it almost is like news coming out on the company. Like for Tesla, they recalled a lot of their cars. You know, stock goes down. Like it's stuff like that.
And Logan Paul or like
videoing a body.
Yeah, exactly.
Not good. NFT is going to go down.
NFT, bye. No, that's true. It's actually interesting to correlate the two.
And it's like Nug Boys, like you said, Max. They've always had a lot of issues, but especially right now, their videos are like not being shown on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're like, I think it's called shadow banned, where they're not being recommended. They're not on trending.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are age restricted. That probably is not good for the Nelk Boys. Not very good. So if they had an NFT, it might be like eek. Yeah.
Oh, it's literally similar. Like a stock.
Mm-hmm.
There's a similar.
So you're gonna have your people that are like super solid, just like blue chip stocks like Apple. You know, you'll have people like I don't know about Elon Musk.
I'd say Mr.
Crazy,
Beast, bro. I'd say Mr. Beast. I
feel
like that's
just solid.
Casey Neistat. That is going up. You know.
Yeah, Casey Neistat. Exactly.
If you guys could invest in
super
one,
solid guys.
Say every influencer ever put out an NFT. If you could buy one of them, whose would it be?
David Dobrik.
Logan Paul.
Oh shit! I wasn't ready.
we fucked.
I would say.
He was counting down.
Oh, I would say Mr. Beast.
I don't know. I have a few.
Dobrik's good though.
Okay, there's
David Dobrik's really good.
For me, there's two. I feel like Mr. Beast would be my bomb. He would be the one that's steady going up.
Be the safe bet.
Yeah, he's steady going up. Elon Musk would be my option. He would be my option because it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just random. You don't know, but when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's terrible.
He's the option that you'll always win with.
Going off Max's kind of thing, I'd probably choose some kind of little TikTok star as my option.
Like Charlie D'Amelio or whatever?
Honestly.
Bro, yeah, because like it just shot up out of nowhere. Like her followers went crazy. She got so much stuff on TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And then probably Mike, like you said, probably Casey Neistat for just the solid one. Like he's been pushing out such good content for years.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually
aged like a fine
wine. All right,
wine.
so Mike, what's your safe play and what's your all right? I'm a little worried, but let's ride it to the moon play.
Definitely, Casey. I've always thought about this because I've watched him since he started his daily vlogs, which was a long time ago, 2015. And he's shaped me a lot, so I feel like a personal attachment to him. Much like how let's make an analogy. So much like how Apple has really made my life awesome, or at least it's made my life a lot better by using their products. That's why I invest in them now, because I have such a personal attachment to them. I feel the same way about Casey. Like I would totally invest in him so he could make better videos, or at least be supported to make better videos. And then for my risky business, I'd go David, even though David's also doing amazing. But it's like he said it himself. He said like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years or 10 years. I just go, I take it day by day. So sounds a bit risky, but he just does it, and he does such a great job. It might be slightly risky, but I still like him a lot as a creator. So funny. Love him.
Yeah, Jerry, what are you going for?
He's great.
I think the safest plays are David Dobrik and
really
Mr. Beast.
All the way, man.
Yeah, David's got to be safe, dude. Like that man, he kills it. If I had to be bullish for a safe bet, I would do Mr. Beast. But I'm not gonna choose. I would do Logan. Oh no, I'm gonna change it. Logan Paul but would Logan Paul be counted as safe? Like that man.
It's up to you.
That's risky.
Do you think so?
He's been safe the past couple. I mean, I love Logan Paul, bro.
He's been
safe.
solid for a long time. Yeah.
Ever since
you know who's risky? You know who's risky? It's
his
Jake.
brother.
Jake is risky.
All right. He got married just for like publicity, and then divorced her.
Yeah.
Like he actually got married.
Yeah, he did.
All right, so
David Dobrik married his best friend's mom, and she was like 80.
Jesus. No, he did not. Oh, like
yes, you didn't see that? You didn't see that? It was so funny. He married Jason's mom.
Safe bet, Logan Paul. I feel like it's safe. Safe bet, Logan Paul. YOLO option, Danny Duncan.
Oh, come on. I forgot about him. That's not even... That's not.
Ah,
no, he's
what a
sketchy.
risk.
That's sketchy.
That is risky.
All right, how about
Yeah.
this? How about if you say, if you had to buy a put on an influencer, if you say they're
a
tanking,
put.
that's a
Oh,
toughie.
shit,
Who's
Max.
just dying, either rapidly or slowly?
I'm surprised none of you said PewDiePie for a safe bet.
No,
No.
it's like
He's
the original
in his
YouTuber.
prime. He was a
Yeah,
safe bet.
dude. He's.
I think
I
he's
mean,
out of his
he's
prime.
like. He's like.
safe for sure, but I don't think he's like growing.
That's consolidated.
He's a,
That's moving
he's a
sideways,
bond.
bro.
He's a bond.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
get
yeah.
it. You'll get it. You're not gonna get much, but,
But
you'll
he's
get.
so
you'll get
high
it.
already.
Right.
Like
He's a bond.
No,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't say plateaued because plateaued means he's like gone down. Like he still has 100 million.
He does. That
subscribers.
is true. But no one talks about him anymore like they used to.
Right.
Like
PewDiePie was on damn
Plateaued at
South
100
Park.
million.
He literally had a South Park episode, and you don't see that happening anymore. But I don't know on the downside, like, because,
A put on an influencer.
bro, you remember you used to watch Deji? Comedy Shorts Gamer? Low key, bro. God. KSI's little brother. KSI himself, too.
Deji.
Nah, KSI is like sideways as well. I'd say.
I'm initial thought, but I'll probably think about it more. Initial thought would be Deji.
Comedy Shorts Gamer,
Gamer's
bro.
dead. Hands down.
Oh, you guys aren't even thinking about like the most profitable ones, and it's like totally out of your scope. The kids who do toy reviews, those guys have like 6 or 10 channels.
What's
and they
the guy-
make millions?
What's the guy that does
Why
the?
are you watching kids do toy reviews?
What's going on there, Mike?
I don't. I've heard about them.
Oh, I'm
And
just
why do you
seeing
know
them.
how many channels
Show us
they
your
have?
history.
Yeah,
Show us your search
yeah,
history.
yeah,
You liar.
bro.
You are a liar.
Soy.
This is
soy.
very mean.
Hold on. Who's that guy that does the electronic reviews that you like,
Marcus.
Logan?
MKBHD. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, another person I didn't
He'd
think
be
about.
good, too.
He would be an
He's
amazing
so-
safe bet.
Yeah, bro.
What's his name? Marcus Brownlee or
We didn't
something?
even say
Marquez
Gary Vee
Brownlee.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marquez Brownlee.
Gary Vee would be a
That's what it
safe
is.
ass bet.
Gary V's safe.
But not,
safe.
he's not with the times, I don't think. I think
Oh,
I think he is.
he's
At least
definitely
at
is.
least I think he is, but I think like a Mr. Beast relates to a wider range almost.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't
You're not
like
gonna get like a
listening to Gary
12-year-old
Vee, bro.
watching Gary Vee. 'cause
Yeah,
he's, like,
yeah,
too
you're
intense.
just not. You got a special.
You can
level.
do it, man. You can do it. Just go fucking out there and go fucking buy something, man.
You know what's funny? We're talking about YouTubers and stuff. Talking about YouTubers. None of them really tank unless they stop making videos.
Exactly.
Sometimes if they say something really bad to
Except if
lose
you're Deji.
followers,
Yeah,
Deji is
bro.
funny.
No, Logan Paul tanked when he made that video
post
in
inward,
Japan.
bro. Like,
Well, he's
I
still
would've
alive
bought-
though.
Yeah.
I would have bought, but I would have bought a put for then. Like
Hold on.
his
No
thing
shit.
went down.
Like, of
Right,
course
that's
you
what
are.
I'm
It's
saying.
not gonna shoot
If I could
up.
go back, if I could go back then and do it, bro, he
God.
got slaughtered.
Yeah, but he's back.
Deji,
That's
like
crazy.
Max said,
Talk about
Deji-
Yeah,
recovery.
he is back.
Deji has
Jake
been
Paul's
getting
wife.
slaughtered though.
He did the
Ex-wife.
happy whale or whatever.
The
Deji has been getting
what
slaughtered.
is the house that they were in? KSI and all them. What's it called?
Sidemen House?
Sidemen?
Yeah, those guys are
Sidemen
kind of
House?
dying.
No, hell no, bro.
Really?
No, the
No, I haven't heard
Sidemen.
about
They're
Sidemen
crazy.
in IKSI?
I mean, no, the Sidemen in particular, yeah, they're doing well, but I know what you mean. A lot of the houses kind of did break up. Like, there's not as many.
If I had to buy a put, let's go back to that question. This is tough.
It is tough.
Yeah, it is tough because we have to figure out who's dying, and we don't know who's dying.
Shane Dawson, maybe? Does he play-
Smosh.
Yeah.
You remember Smosh?
Smosh.
Smosh.
Yes, dude.
Oh,
Fred,
that's actually
Fred.
They're sort of like a
Fred,
they went
bro?
down but then shot back up.
Fred!
Friday Girl.
I would be loaded if I bought a put on Fred, dude.
No, yeah, but okay, let's do it if you had to do it today, because a lot of these have already hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Fair
enough,
Like
fair enough,
someone's,
fair enough, fair enough.
someone that's just like in the middle of tanking, or just started tanking.
But I can't think of one off the
Yeah.
top
I
of my
can't
head.
either.
You know, Tana also got in trouble by saying something wrong, like Jake Paul's ex-wife. I think
Yeah.
that was a while ago, though. That was like a couple years ago. I can't think of
Yeah.
anyone recent who's really in trouble or who's just like not producing content. We're also kind of biased because we're only thinking about the people we're subscribed to.
That is
Right.
true.
Some of them, and then if we even think about anyone else, it's the super big people that most people know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if we can take into account smaller creators. Although, okay, so side note before you answer the question, this would be an amazing way to get to know younger creators, right? Because you just have the top dogs that you always watch, but to discover new people, that's always a tough process. YouTube sometimes recommends like, oh, this is a creator on the rise, you should invest in them, or not invest in them, but they show the videos, but they don't really do that. It's a lot harder to find like young and creators.
That's a good point. We are kind of biased. I'd like to know.
We also are kind of being dickheads as well.
Well, I mean, like, to who?
One mistake that they make and it tanks them.
Deji sucks. He fell off.
I genuinely do think he sucks.
Suck,
I genuinely do think he's
even his brother doesn't like him.
Like,
his prime, Deji's prime. I didn't think he was good. You watch him every single night.
KSI is funny.
Comedy Shorts Gamer here.
KSI is funny.
I'd like to know what people think. Like, actually, like in the comments of saying like if you had to buy a put on somebody, not that already has,
or if you had to be
off,
bullish,
but that is bullish or bearish. Shout out bearish. But if you had not that they've already declined, but they are kind of on that plateau type thing, and kind of losing steam, and then will go down like a long-term type way. I'd be interested to see.
I know as soon as we end this video, it's gonna hit me, and I'm gonna say it like have a perfect one.
Right.
But right now,
I mean, check your YouTube. Why not check your YouTube right now? There's nothing wrong with that. I'd go down my subscriber
I think
list and
Max probably has
you.
the best one anyway.
To be honest,
been getting tough.
What is it?
To be honest,
tough love.
I low key think KSI is beginning. It's like the beginning because he's reached.
He still gets so many views though. I'd say he's like PewDiePie.
Does
like,
he
he's just going
still
sideways.
do gaming or no?
Yeah.
No, I think he'll sometimes do like a gameplay.
He's almost like
he
he's moved into a completely new market.
It's a lot of the side men. They do a lot of group stuff.
Vlog, rapping, and now boxing. So I guess I can't say he's fallen. He's just moved into a
his
different
boxing's
market,
been huge.
It's a different thing.
Like he beat Logan Paul, and their viewership, I'm pretty sure on that fight was.
And yeah, right. No, I agree with that. That's why I'm changing. I don't think he's fallen off. He's moved into a new market, whereas Deji, I think he's continuing to do the same. I don't think he's changed anything. You know?
I'd buy a put on Nate Hill.
I don't even know who that is.
Who's that?
Exactly.
The one that Jake Paul beat in the boxing fight.
Nate Hill or Nate Robinson?
Nate Robinson, that's who it is.
Was he a basketball player?
Yes, he was.
Right, exactly. And now he's...
What about a sports guy? We haven't even talked about sports.
Yeah, we're talking about influencers, but there's like a bunch of other people
they're
out
influencers
there.
I mean, I guess they're influencers.
Yo, I'm sorry. I love him. I'm buying a put on Rodashaw. He hasn't posted in a fucking year. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Who?
I forgot about him.
Rodashaw, Harry from the Sidemen.
Oh,
he's funny. I love him, but he hasn't.
He's
posted
still in videos, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, in the Sidemen, but his channel itself has been a year since he posted.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a football player, like a Baker Mayfield is on the rise. I'd say.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bullish play.
I love my guy, but I'm buying a put on Big Ben.
Yeah, bro, like stuff like that. Yeah. Or he's been unlucky, but like a RG3 or something like that. Like he's just been so unlucky in his career.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's coming back. It's interesting to go to sports too.
Mm-hmm.
Great question, yeah.
And yeah, so the NBA, but that's what the NBA is doing. We didn't talk about the NBA. So like I said, with NBA Top Shots, they have their own NFTs. I wonder if the NFL is going to start doing that. And you're going to have like a highlight of, Tom Brady throwing a
video type
touchdown.
Thing?
There's like highlights.
I'll put it this way: if there's a way to make money and lots of it, they'll do it.
It would be the
if
interception.
It makes money, they'll have an NFT.
The interception on the goal line from
Malcolm Butler
Malcolm Butler against the Seahawks, like that would, or like the Edelman catch or something like that. Like, and that would be the Patriots organization.
Or like the Miami Miracle.
Yeah, but like that one was in a meaningless game. You know what I'm saying? That one, these ones, they made all of these trophies. You know what I'm saying? That Miami Miracle didn't mean squat. Okay.
Thanks to Tom.
Gotcha.
Fucking Tom.
Tom made the Pats.
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool too. Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just
Long episode. Good episode.
I like that.
Lots of different subjects.
I think we're good.
That was like a 2-episode type podcast.
That'll be
was-
easy
I-
for clips too.
Oh, you can make clips.
That
for
was like
weeks.
less about stocks and more just us chatting. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was good, yeah. Mike, outro man.
Mm-hmm.
This is
The
you.
quiet assassin.
This is you. Man.
So did we learn about
Yeah.
NFTs, boys? Do you guys know what they are now? Logan, Mike, you good?
For the most
Yeah, we
part,
did.
yeah.
NFTs?
Oh, no.
What's really
No, that was
coincidental
cool.
about that is I was going to say, oh, you guys are good. I was gonna call you out for what's it called, like putting me under pressure last time to not voice crack, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth is a voice crack.
It's okay,
So
man.
there you go.
It's okay.
It happens, man.
It does. Apparently, I haven't graduated from
We're
puberty
all
yet.
watching.
Well,
We're all
it-
watching.
It happens. Yeah, we're all watching again. You did well last time. You had
No-
ice.
no
in your,
pressure.
you had ice in your veins. Now let's see if you can
No pressure, bro.
do it again.
Now there's
Let's
fire
hear
in
it.
my veins.
Aww.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you subscribe and leave a like on the episode. We really appreciate it. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get push notifications straight to your phone. If you're listening on audio, don't forget to leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Spotify. It really helps us out. And finally, if you want to ask us questions or get in touch with us, feel free to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and hop on our Discord server so you can ask us questions and chat with us there. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Talk to you later. Peace.
See ya.